going on, guys? Welcome to the Nice and Cozy podcast. I'm here with my boy Cam. This is our very first episode. I'm not gonna lie, we not really sure what we're doing. We're a little nervous, but it's fun to us. You know what I'm saying? We thank you for tuning in. Yeah, man, sit back, relax, open your ears, and get nice and cozy with us.
Yeah, come get cozy with us.
Yes, sir. What's
Nah.
going on, Cam?
I'm so excited, man. We got a nice studio. We got the mics and everything. Look at this.
Man,
You guys can see me on the mic. That's my camera.
guys, it's official in here.
Yeah.
It's official.
You got Khalil's camera right there.
You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
And what I'm telling you, this was literally something very soon and very kind of just on the spur to just let's
Yeah.
do it.
On some really you just get sparks of creativity. I feel like honestly Cam was the one to pull the trigger on this, you know what I'm saying? Obviously I be feeling like everybody just kind of has the need to want to do something creative, and this was our way of doing that, you know what I'm saying? I be feeling like we also have a lot of intellectual conversations, so
Definitely.
Cam's a super smart individual, I'm a smart individual, so we just be having stuff I feel like we need to say. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm so ready for it to be we just talk about whatever we want to.
Exactly.
All these conversations, 'cause y'all don't understand if you're listening, we will sit in a dining hall and talk for
Hours.
way too long.
Hours.
Way too long. People wondering, what are these dudes eating a full course meal? No, we just had a empty plate sitting in front of us for mad long.
Seriously. The conversations they get, you know what I'm saying? They get deep, and they get, like I said, intellectual. So,
Yeah.
but they also can be, as unserious as any other conversation. But yeah. Long story short, we just enjoy conversating. Period. So,
Yeah.
want to bring that element.
Yeah, I would say also just that whole it's like a thing of when we say, oh, we want to do something, we want a podcast, and it's just the fact that it was available. It was something that kind of just it's almost like luck at this point of we didn't know what we was gonna do, and then it was kind of just a thing of conversation. Would you ever do a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's we
have mics on. We have
Yeah.
the headphones on.
I can switch camera over and over.
Yeah.
But
This was short notice too,
Yeah.
Maybe not even 3 weeks ago we started talking about this, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I also think it's also a blessing to have something like this for free, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Being a part of the university, and really just trying to take advantage of everything that they offer to students, you know what I'm saying?
You
I
want
think
to tell
it's
the
a great
people
opportunity.
where we at? Where we at right now?
Where we at wait, what do you mean?
What school? Everything.
Oh yeah,
that?
yeah, for sure. We at Loyola, University of Chicago, downtown, chilling, man.
Because definitely that time. I don't know if it's decisions yet for students, but if any student, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
is thinking or on the line, there's some resources here.
There's beyond resources here, man. On top of that, the city beautiful, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you're from Chicago
I'm
or from suburbs?
Yeah, northern suburbs.
Yeah.
Not too far from here though.
So there's a lot of schools in Chicago. Why did you choose Loyola? What was your?
I feel like my initial choice, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to go to an HBCU off of RIP coming out of high school.
Mm,
A lot of HBCUs don't have a lot of money to offer in scholarships.
yeah.
So I was pointed in this direction, staying close to home. I would save money. On top of that, I was referred to the 2-year program I graduated from by a high school counselor,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't hear nothing but good things about it. So I took a leap of faith, and the resources and support there was, that was insane. And it's crazy to think I'm about to graduate. But long story short, Loyola was just the best, I feel financial decision for me, on top of me being close to my family.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But you, Cam, you come all the way from Cali.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Cali's interesting though. I think it's really dope that you from there.
Yeah. I say it could definitely be 2 states if you really
Mm-hmm.
because people from the Bay, because I have friends here that are from LA,
Yeah.
completely different than me. It's a completely different vibe over there,
Mm-hmm.
everything. But crazy part is I thought I wanted to go to LMU, which is in
Loyola Marymount.
yeah, which is in LA, and that was like my junior sophomore year. I was like, yeah, that's my school.
Mm-hmm.
That's my school. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful campus. I have an older sister. I visited there for her, and I was like, this is so nice. It's so I can get down with this.
Yeah.
Then it's actually that time. It's like when things come around where it's actually that time to go do that, or also because I was younger and then I have a different perspective now.
Mm-hmm.
When I got older and when it was me and my dad, we went on college visits and we went here. It was my first time in Chicago.
Wow.
That visit to the school, first time in Chicago, and this was the first school I got accepted to too.
Wow.
2 days before Christmas.
Was this
so
before
it's like,
or after? Was this before or after you took the visit that like you decided you wanted to go? Because you said you wanted to go to Marymount first.
yeah. No, it was because I went. I gotta think when that was. I was a freshman in high school when we went for my sister.
Okay.
I was either a freshman or 8th grade. I want to know if it was her junior or her senior year when we went. She's 3 years older. But when I went, I always had like a good vibe of the campus. But the campus was very dead when we went too.
Mm-hmm.
So you never really have the full understanding of what a campus is until like you see it when people are just out there.
For sure.
But when I visited here, it wasn't even the school visit that won me over. Of course, the campus is real nice.
Mm-hmm.
The campus is beautiful, but it was the city, the vibes, the little the hot dog spot I went to,
Yeah.
Chicago's Doghouse, man.
Yeah. He tried a Chicago dog. He was so.
Dude, no, and the loaded fries.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's Doghouse is right off Fullerton.
Chicago's
Telling you,
Doghouse.
that's my favorite spot since I've been here. It's my first spot I went to.
Yeah.
But that place was just like, and the dude in there,
Yeah.
straight vibes. It was Solo. So I haven't seen him since. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But Solo came in there. Yo, what's up, my boy? Da-da-da. I'm like, yo, this is fire.
Yeah.
But definitely after that, and in that shop alone, because we ate in there, some cops came in there, some just other people just around the area. So it was like you got to see a full community basically.
Absolutely.
In this one spot, and everybody was just vibing, and I was like, this is, I can't get better than this right here. And one thing I was always fearful of, we can talk more about this later, is like being away from home and stuff. Like, how would I react? But one thing I always learned was you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
And then that's only how you can grow. It's like if you go to a different place where you're uncomfortable at, and then you're able to find that zone where, okay, I can get down here, then it's like you can really go anywhere you want.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel like being comfortable, being uncomfortable is kind of like the key to life, because it's always changing in a sense. Especially like us being students. Like, I was just talking about this to my father about like being a student as an adult is a different experience, I feel like, as a young adult, because you really got to hold yourself accountable. And like you said, when you're in a new place and you don't really know anything, there's really nothing for you to do but learn. I feel like higher education and college has definitely taught me that, from bad like class experiences to bad roommate experiences. Like stuff is never going to be steady. You get what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with you. I also agree with like Chicago, like overtaking like your emotion, because Chicago is, man, it's a beautiful city. I look at Chicago as like a melting pot. I feel like in any corner of the city you can find any nationality, any race, any religion, any sex, whatever the case. Granted, there's always problems of like separation that can be fixed, but for the most part, Chicago is very diverse. I feel like, I also feel like people like me and you kind of thrive in environments like that, being able to talk to a bunch of different people.
Definitely.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you. I feel like Chicago is filled with versatility.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I definitely, and that may have been what called me over, to be honest, because coming from Oakland, California, Bay Area is so diverse.
Yeah.
And I was literally just talking to my like family that it was people from the Bay. It wasn't you're this race, you're that race. It wasn't any of that. It's like, you from the Bay first. That's really what it was. And it's like no matter what nationality, where you come from, it was like, okay, you from the Bay,
Yeah,
you know how things are over here, you understand the culture.
for sure.
And when I came here, it's like, okay, there's so much different, there's so many different type of people, and they're all from Chicago, and everybody has their Chicago things. People go to Cubs games, people wear their Chicago Bears stuff. It's things like that. It's like, okay, we have a feel. St. Patrick's Day just passed.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I was like,
Nuts in Chicago.
they celebrate this more than Christmas.
No,
That's
no
literally,
doubt.
cause bro, I'm going down the street. I'm taking the train.
Yeah.
Random dudes, Happy St. Patty's Day.
I swear to you.
I'm like,
I took the train once that day, and I didn't take it again because it was so crowded. People just trying to get to the river. But yeah, like you said, when it comes to Chicago, like there's definitely a certain sense of culture there. You know what I'm saying? Just like it would be in every other place. And that's why I think it's like really cool that you came from Cali, because Cali, I know for a fact, is also like super diverse, but it's a different vibe. I feel like Chicago has more like that urban feel. You got skyscrapers and tall buildings and whatnot. But at the same time, it's kind of like, in a sense, the same thing, just a different side of the coin. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like it was like, it was really interesting to meet somebody from across the United States. And, you know, I feel like my route to college, it's very similar to a lot of other students. You stay home because it's financially like the best thing to do. But for you to leave Cali, like a beautiful, you know what I'm saying? A beautiful place to live, and to come into Chicago, which is also a beautiful place to live. Like, it kind of just shows me the type of person you is. Like, you're not, you know what I'm saying? In a sense, like you said, afraid to be uncomfortable. And I feel like that's like, that's a quality that not many people have. So
I would say when it comes to that, it's like I have a lot of people to thank for that, especially like my parents.
Yeah.
But because they were always pushing me to, you don't have to be one track minded in things. It's okay to want to do something a little bit different. We want you to, because they said they never left California. They were always they stayed in the town. They stayed, and it was like, they say, oh, we wish we would have ventured out, because now they love to travel. They love to go places. Sure. And
it's like, because you and your sister's older too.
Yeah. So they're literally going to Europe this year without us. Was not invited. Was not invited. Yeah. But they love to travel, and from like a younger age, whether it was because playing basketball growing up, AAU tournaments, we used to travel to different places with the team.
For sure. And
it's like, okay, you get that feel of go somewhere else. There's other things. There's things bigger than this, where you're at. And then also, it was small things like summer camps.
Yeah.
Summer camps. If I didn't go to like the 1 week summer camp, I probably would have never been this okay with being away from home. I feel like.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Because it's like, I was here, orientation, show up, whole bunch of people, and then I realized, okay, all these people from like 50% of them from the suburbs. When I came here, I had no idea what the suburbs were. I was like, how are y'all all from the same place?
No, seriously.
Talking about the suburbs. Y'all all know each other? What's going on?
Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes, like, everybody does know each other, man. And, like, there's so many suburbs that surround Chicago. In Chicago, like I said, it's the melting point. It's like the center of everything that may be. And, like, that's why I feel like my very first friend I made in college, I'm from 45 minutes north of Chicago. He's from 45 minutes south.
Okay.
But that's like one of my best friends today. And, you know what I'm saying? It was almost as if, like, I came to Chicago to meet people like him, to meet people like a bunch of the other people that I've met, and, like, broaden my horizons on just the different ways of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Chicago's a special place.
How would you say is the difference between when you were like in, like basically right outside Chicago, and then actually in the city?
It's kind of interesting though. Like, so when I was younger, like I never had taken the red line or anything, not nearly as much as I do now. But I have family like scattered in Chicago. It's like aunts and uncles. My grandma lives out south, so like occasionally I would come to the city as a child, but I grew up in the suburbs. But honestly, like coming to Chicago as a student was a gift to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm close. It's like I'm close to both sides of my family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Chicago is definitely just like broadened my experiences. On top of my experiences, just like my insight. You know, there was a lot of things that I felt like I wasn't okay with, like from the inside, that I no longer, you know, in a sense, care about because, like, you just have to understand the world is bigger than you. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Chicago moves way faster than the suburbs. You know what I mean? There's way more people, so in a sense, you just gotta realize that. What's the best way I can put this without sounding depressing? Not necessarily that you don't matter, but there's so many other people out there handling 1,000 other problems.
Yeah.
And Chicago was a real eye opener for me in that state. You know, I could be complaining about missing a bus, and you just so happen to look over to the left, and you see somebody with no shoes.
Exactly.
You know, it really just makes you appreciate the problems, the blessings, everything that you have. You know what I'm saying? Everything it is about your life. And there's just a bunch of things that I wouldn't know about the world if I didn't move to a city like this. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I really agree with that. That point of some things are not worth basically tripping about. There's always things that could be like worse. Especially, I was literally looking outside today, pouring rain, and I'm like, man, I was walking through it. I was like, yo, the wind's hitting me all in the face. 8 a.m. I'm like. But then I thought about it some more, and I was like, back home, I didn't even have seasons like this. Yeah. It was sporadic. We didn't have, it would rain middle of summer. It would be cold middle of summer. It'd be hot middle of winter. It was whatever that day was, it was. Yeah. It could be hot and cold at the same day. But then here I'm like, okay, no, this is April showers.
Yeah, literally.
You have that here.
The saying, April showers bring May flowers. Like,
yeah. I was like, this is real deal. I'm in seasons. It was just snowing and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Dude, first time I had snow here, seeing snowfall, I was like.
So that was your first time seeing snow when you came to Chicago?
Because whenever I went to, there's still like Lake Tahoe in California. Whenever I went there, snow's already on the ground. Yeah. And some of it's fake. So
right.
So here, I'm literally in my, like, I remember this last year. I'm sitting in class in Mundelein, and I'm just looking out the window. And just seeing all the snowfall, and I don't even care. I don't know what was happening in class anymore. Yeah. I'm really just sitting there, just watching.
Like, this is actually
like,
happening.
Yeah. And I'm like, no way. And then you walk outside, and there's snow just all on the ground. I was like a little kid. You did not want to be around me right there.
For sure. The Midwest is tough, man. Like, as far as, like, the weather goes, it's so unpredictable, bro. Yeah. Like, it was just 70 degrees, maybe, 8-9 days ago,
maybe less.
Yeah, literally less. And then maybe 2 days ago, going to class, I had to put on a Carhartt, bro. It felt like 24 degrees. Yeah. So it's definitely like, it'd be unpredictable. But I get what you mean when you get the experience of all 4 seasons. That's one thing. Like, if I were to move out of the Midwest, that's one thing that I would genuinely miss. I feel like I would get bored of it being either cold all the time or hot all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know about hot all the time. Hot all the time. It's low-key nice, though.
I couldn't do it.
It's low-key nice.
Like by the end of July, I'll be ready for summer to, you know. But my birthday's also in the fall, so I'm biased. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I haven't worn shorts since. No, I'm not. I went to hoop the other day, and I was in shorts. But outside, I haven't worn shorts outside.
Yeah, nah, occasionally you will see a guy in shorts, bro. No matter how.
Occasionally. No. Hold on. I promise you, we're gonna be very positive on this podcast. But when I tell you it was midwinter,
bro,
I'm out here decked up in 5 layers. Yeah. It's negatives when I check my phone.
Yeah, bro.
I'm walking outside, and the first thing I see is a dude in a short sleeve.
Yeah, wildin'.
I see his knees in his shorts. I'm like, nah.
He's wildin', bro. Like, they will do that, though.
And don't even look at me crazy for looking at you crazy, because you crazy.
But at least, like, when you see that, though, you 1,000% know it's a native. It's a Midwestern native.
Yeah.
They from here.
That's exactly how I feel when I see people. out here in the rain, pouring,
Yeah.
no umbrella, nothing, just walking through it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Does it rain a lot in Cali?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have this song like it never rains in Southern California, but Northern California it rains. We'll have like flood watch, things like that. But
I honestly enjoy the rain. It rained today, by the way, guys. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't outside though. So, but like sometimes I do enjoy like walking in the rain. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I'm okay.
No,
though, I
it's
promise.
peaceful to a point.
Yeah, it's very okay.
It's definitely peaceful when you're like,
you got a nice playlist.
Yeah.
For sure.
Unless the rain really dropping.
Very true.
Dropping, then
It would have to be like a hoodie and some sweats you don't really care about. Like that's when you take the walk.
But I will say, rainy days do like if you're inside, they're nice.
Yeah.
To me, they're so nice, and I appreciate them. And then when I was looking outside today, and when I'm talking about seasons, I was like, these are literally like watering all these dead trees and plants right now.
Literally.
And it's subtle things where I started appreciating stuff more like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was literally talking to my sister about this when I started appreciating stuff more, just the little things and trying not to be negative, trying to be positive about everything as much as possible. Because of course you ain't gonna be positive 24/7. It's hard to.
Yeah.
We all got emotions, sway. We go through.
Sure. We're human.
But it was like when I started really appreciating stuff and just trying to be positive, my life ended up being more positive just in general. And I was like, everything, it's small things like this, like doing this podcast, stuff that it's just fun. It's fun to do.
Yeah, it's like you don't even, at times, like when you're trying to be creative, it's like you don't even know why you're doing it, but it feeds your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes you feel like you're doing something. That'd be like the, can we talk about procrastination for a second?
Yeah, let's get it.
That'd be like the idea of me with procrastination is, you know, the longer you procrastinate something, I feel like the less enthusiasm you have for it. And so that's why you just be having to pull the trigger on stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, like I read this thing about self-efficacy, and basically like what self-efficacy is, it's basically just like, you know, your self-respect. And, you know, in a sense, if you make a promise to yourself that you're going to do something creative or you're going to do whatever the case, like you should make that promise, because like every time you break a promise to yourself, your self-efficacy goes down. Me and Cam were actually talking about this. But it's just interesting to me because like ever since I read that, I genuinely have, you know, felt that way. You know what I'm saying? And so to the best of my ability, every day I try and scratch a couple things off my to-do list. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know that it helps me internally. And it can be like deadlines, but it can also be something creative, something like this that we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Where'd you read that again, or if you remember?
I honestly might have just read it on just scrolling.
IG Reel type?
Yeah, something. But it really just like stuck with me because like prior to me reading that, that's how I felt. It was just I couldn't really, in a sense, put a label on it or what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like months before, if I like say I would go to the gym and I didn't go to the gym, and you feel lesser about yourself. You know
exactly.
But yeah, we just got to give ourselves grace, though.
Definitely, because I would say, like, not to put yourself down on stuff like that, because end of the day, we're human.
Yeah.
There's stuff we want to do, but we all, because when you told me about it, and I was like, dude, I do the same thing. So it's like, we're not alone in doing this. So it's hard to put yourself down about it when it's other people doing it. But you can look at it in a way where it's like, okay, lift yourself up when you do it. It's like, especially when you touch on like creative stuff, because there's like chores. Chores are stuff that you don't want to do,
right?
And it's like when they're done, then it's like I'm glad I got it done. It's not like I'm glad I did it because you didn't want to do it in the first place. But with creative stuff, I would say just do it, because it's really just stuff we're doing like right now, stuff that you can have fun doing, stuff that you want to do. If you want with stuff like this where it's like, oh, we want people to see it, things like that. Yeah. But if the genuine reason why you're doing it isn't just for you, I realize that it's like, it's not even worth it. Yeah. So if you have some creative, don't feel like, oh, I don't want to do it just because, like, I don't know who's going to see, I don't know who's going to like it. Sure. If you have something you really want to do that's creative, just run and do it. Because it's something you want to do. And you shouldn't there's always going to be people that do like it because there's a group for everybody.
For sure.
I found that out. There's something everybody likes, whether it's 10 people, whether it's 20. There's going to be somebody that likes it. And if they like it, then there's somebody else that probably do.
That's so well said. So well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I couldn't agree more. That was something that college taught me. Like, so many extracurricular clubs on campus that you wouldn't think people would want to represent because you just don't. It's not even necessarily you wouldn't think people want to represent it. It's just you don't know that the population's there until somebody ups and starts a club. Latin club, Asian club, you know what I'm saying? Frats, whatever the case. Like you said, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even limit that to campus either. I would say, like, even Chicago's like that, you know what I'm saying? As a city, I feel like there's a skating community, there's a music community, there's a fashion community, there's a food community. If you like the club, you do that, you know what I'm saying? There's corners of the world for everybody here.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree, man. And I don't think we're ever alone in anything.
Yeah. And touching on, like, not being alone on anything and just, like, how there's groups with things, never being afraid to jump into something new is something I found out because I told you I golf. And when I tell you nobody thought I golf,
I wouldn't think you golf.
It's like, and it's something that I wouldn't have thought I would have done ever. If you ask my like 7th grade self, I got my note from my like 8th grade self, asking questions about like what you doing now, like, and it was just like because it was basketball at that time. Are you dunking yet? Like, how's your 3 ball? Like,
actually so valid though.
It was real. Like, there was other stuff. It was like, how's your family doing? But it was when it came to extracurricular stuff outside of like school, family. It was basketball. What are you doing with basketball? Like, is that it? And when I read it now, I'm like, I'm not even doing basketball anymore. I go play basketball with my friends sometimes at the gym, open runs now, but I'm doing so much more, I feel like, than, because of course, like, anybody who can go pro, props to you. You like that. Right. But I never wanted to be stuck in that place where it's, yo, you got to play basketball. That's it. That's all you got. For sure. And if you get stuck there, there's no plan B. There's no plan B. But that's one thing I appreciate my parents for. They were always like, you're never just going to be just a basketball player. We know, like, what you have and, like, your creative side, things you do, because it's so many things I feel like I like to do, and it's just a random thing every single day that you want to do. So when it came to, my mom signed me up for golf training.
I didn't really put 2 and 2 together when you had told me you played golf recently, but then you also said you were like a counselor too, like at a golf course.
Yeah. So in my
around the environment type shit.
Summer job, I was coaching kids, and then it was funny. It was the camp that my mom sent me to learn. Yeah. I was the oldest camper there when I was still there, so I was like, why am I here with all these little kids? But the summer after, got a job there because they already knew me. Right. And then after that, another coaching year, they gave me more like responsibility. And then last summer, I was the director. I had my own location. So it was really like blessings like that where it was okay. And the other thing that came with that too, I didn't pay much for golf equipment because I worked. Yeah, and for those that don't know, it's expensive. Golf is so expensive. So when people hear I golf, they think like, oh, nah, you got it. No, no. I got very lucky. Uncle in Atlanta that gave me a driver when he came and visited because he heard I golf. Yeah, shout out. Then my coworker, I got clubs in my garage, dude. I got you. Yeah. It gives me a whole set. I'm like, okay, I don't gotta even worry anymore. For sure. And so it was stuff like that. And then when I got into it, I had my friends already that I made all through high school, and it's our senior year. Yo, let's go golf. And what the funniest part to me was, everybody had clubs and nobody wanted to say nothing. Everybody had clubs. Yeah. I was like, how we all going to the course now? And I think we pulled up one time like 8 people, 9 people to the course, booked 2 tee times back to back, and it was all of us just going down in carts. And I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. And it was something I would have never thought, because it was stuff like that. Basketball was it.
Yeah, it wasn't in your interest yet.
And I had like the most fun in the past couple of years since I stopped playing. Was like the best times of my life, I would say. Where it was like the most. Got my first job off of it. Everything just started flowing. I started doing different things, random things. Did like modeling, tried to do modeling for a little bit. Didn't model once. They tried to sign me up for background characters and acting and random things, but I did not do no acting.
For sure.
But it's random stuff that I was like, okay, I'm able to do this, this, and this. But that was the time I was spending like in this gym trying to like train all day.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so many different avenues in life. So never being like afraid to step into something, I guess, is the main thing I'm trying to say here. Because you never know where that next door is gonna lead.
Yeah.
You never know.
I think one thing like great that you said too is just like giving props to your parents, them making sure that they didn't box you, since because you know it's easy for us to be boxed, and like I feel like that like strong emotional support, creative support, artistic support, like if you have that support system, whether it comes from your mom, your dad, your sister, or whatever, like it really helps you so much because. Like I can say the same. Like my mom has always spoken it into me that I'm intelligent. You know what I mean, regardless of what anybody says. Cause like I played basketball and football and stuff growing up too, and like obviously like you know when you're younger, like that's really you think you're going to the league, bro. I'm not gonna
recess champ. You really feel like
like you genuinely think you can do it, and to the like you said to the people who have done it, like congratulations to you. It's a matter of us speaking here right now and saying how versatile like our interests have gotten, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like you hit it right on the nail. Like it starts at home. It starts with people like speaking that positivity into you. So that like shout out to your parents, man. My mom, like I said, she's always tried to instill the fact that like I'm smart, that I can do whatever it is I put my mind to.
Yeah.
And more or less I kind of attack every situation in that manner kind of.
Yeah.
Sometimes like some situations more than others, but yeah, man, I feel like my parents definitely like made me feel like I could do anything, and so definitely shout out to our parents, man. I feel like we wouldn't in a sense really be sitting in this podcast studio if it wasn't for our parents. That's super foundational, but like I remember even speaking with my mom about us and the idea of starting this, and she was 100% in support, what I'm saying? She was full on. So like stuff like that gives you confidence too. You know what I'm saying? People speaking and believing into you and like thinking that it could work.
Yeah.
However that looks for you, whatever your goals are. You know what I'm saying?
That's huge.
Project.
That is huge. Support. That support system. I would say for anybody who like doesn't have one, please try to like find that because it does help. Just having one person that really wants to win just as much as you wants you to win just as much as you want to win yourself. Because it's hard sometimes, but you're gonna hit those points where you're like, man, like I don't know if I could do it.
Definitely.
But if you have somebody else, and that's one thing we talked about even starting this was like, it's not just me, it's not just you doing this podcast, it's us.
Yes, sir.
So it's like we can really do this, and we want to do this, and like when I told my parents too, they were super excited that I'm doing something like this, especially because I know. They were like, how is he going to fare out in Chicago? He's far away from home. Like, right now, out of my whole family, I'm the furthest away. So it's like, is he going to be all right? But when they see stuff like, okay, not only is he all right, he's safe, like he's made it a year, 2 years, but now he's doing extra stuff. Like,
with his time, you know?
Like he's done really found his way to do stuff. So and I couldn't even imagine for them because, seeing like little baby pictures of me and stuff, and I really gotta think they saw me when I was like I couldn't even speak. So it's definitely an appreciation for that right there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, my mom always told me like you will never understand the concept of loving a child until you have your own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because me and you wouldn't know nothing about that right now.
Definitely.
So it's just like. I get you, man. It's hard to like envision yourself in their shoes, but it's definitely like a concept to grasp. You know, like seeing somebody seeing you grow from the ground up is, it's like it's special. And that's where like I be feeling like also that's where like I'm sure your parents tell you like they proud of you all the time too, because it's like you know, like not only are you surviving in Chicago, like you're thriving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something in a sense to be grateful for, to be proud for as a parent. It's definitely understandable, because you know, like there's a lot of other crazy stuff going on, a lot of bad stuff, and like I feel like as a parent, maybe to just know that your kid is not a part of the negativity in the world.
Yeah.
You can be proud of that in itself.
Because there's a lot of easy like pitfalls to fall into.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't realize how easy it is to take that route, or just like not even get crazy into it, but just being a negative person. It's so easy to be negative.
Absolutely, bro.
Like, I promise you can go, because I can go around all day. Oh, I hate that.
I swear to you.
Like, oh my
sure,
God.
bro. For sure.
They don't even know we got on this podcast. Didn't even know how to start this.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
So it's like, we could have really just been like, nah, that's it.
Yeah.
I hate this. But instead, like, let's work it out. Let's do
Yeah.
things. And now it's this positive thing. The more you, like, just enjoy what you're doing, enjoying the small moments.
For sure. One thing you said about support too, that like I appreciate. You know, you was like this past 2 weeks, bro. We've been actually, you know what I'm saying, trying to gain traction, trying to gain progress in this project. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hold myself accountable as much as possible, along with, you know what I'm saying, us all, we're taking classes right now, closing in on finals. But regardless, it's like deadlines are deadlines, but when it comes to like that creativity and like that internal joy, like this is something that like I find value in. Like you said, even when we walked into the studio, we didn't necessarily know how everything worked, and that could have been discouraging in itself. But
definitely.
Instead, you like embrace the confusion and like what we've been recording for. You know what I'm saying? We've been recording for about half an hour. I don't even know. It don't even matter. I just know that we're recording now.
It's going.
Exactly.
Press that button. Press that button, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's really just what it is, man. And I really do appreciate, one, because just letting the people know, like, how I even met you in the first place was in the most, like, simple way. And
bro, did we meet? Go ahead. I don't even remember.
We met in the gym. And,
really?
like, literally, because I was with my boy, and we were literally working it on the same,
Yep.
It was on a cable. I remember this so clearly. Certain things I'm not good at remember everything, but certain things I remember so clearly.
Yeah.
But we met literally on the cable machine, and literally just started talking. And it's crazy because there's so many people you talk to in the gym, like whether it's like between sets, whatever. But when it's something that like, it just clicks, and now it just works, and now we just like friends like this, it's something special.
Sure,
and I really appreciate it, because it's like something so simple. And when I sent you the thing, you was like, I'm down, let's run it. It wasn't even like, I don't know, like, you sure we're going to be able to? You were like, let's do it. Let's make it work. And since then, it's just been, let's making this podcast work, and let's have fun with it.
And whatever, like, I feel like whatever hurdles we've been running into, we jump over. You know what I'm saying? Like, even finding out how to book a session for said studio, like, you know what I'm saying? That takes initiative in itself. Like, it's just a lot, bro. It's a lot, but we've been full throttle for the most part, and that's what I appreciate, bro. But you have also helped me stay engaged in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you weren't as engaged, then I wouldn't be as engaged, and I feel like it would be vice versa. So it's like just going back to support, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like partner support, brotherly support, bro. It means a lot.
Yeah, and also it feels like, one, because you're older than me, so to have that, somebody who's like been through it, because you give me advice on just like what it's like here, what it's like at the school, what it's like in Chicago, and I couldn't be more appreciative to have somebody like that, where it's like, okay, I feel like I could just ask you a question, and then you got me with an answer. So it's like, that doesn't come every day, because there's people that older here that'll like, you ask them a question, they'll tell you, but they're not going to give you the like same authenticity, or really that and more. Give you an answer and more.
Exactly.
There's like the people that will give you an answer and more of what they like really want to give you extra. Like, you need to know this too. You gotta.
For sure.
I really can't be more appreciative of that.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad to be one of those people in your life. Like, genuinely especially like you said with you being younger than me and being so I think just like intuitively creative, you know what I'm saying? And especially like in your sophomore year, you ain't got nothing but time to expand on that and like nurture that plant. But yeah, bro, like I couldn't be more like honored to just give you whatever insight it is I have. I be feeling like I don't know nothing about the world, but you know, if whatever it is that I know is benefiting somebody, especially like one of my boys, like I couldn't be happier about that. We both learning though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Both young men in the world. There's still so much to learn, so much more for both of us to learn.
No.
But regardless though, bro, like shit, being here for each other too is like what matters. Like it's a dope feeling.
Nah, this dude saying he don't know nothing about the world, acting like he don't be sounding so philosophical.
I feel like we both sound philosophical.
Nah, but it's really on some like, yeah, even because you really also made that step of like, yo, bro, let me get your info. And the way I am too, I'm not like always so. I talk to people, but I'm not like, oh, let's connect. And I've been trying to do better on that more. But by you doing that, it really was like, okay, I really appreciate that because this dude, it was that same thing of like somebody could have that conversation and just leave.
Yeah.
But you was like, I got you. I'm here, basically.
For sure.
And that was like very, very, very fire to me.
Yeah, I feel like that's important too, because it's like one thing I noticed too is like you never know who you're talking to. Granted that every person that you run into, you're not supposed to like want anything from them, but you know, you just never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And how you can help each other. And then too, like college definitely taught me that, like networking, get somebody's info. I feel like we have like we have one of the most powerful tools of today's like world in our phone, in our pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself should just it should just do nothing but like encourage you to want to, you know what I'm saying, expand your horizons and do whatever. Like, but I really been trying to take advantage of that though. You know, whether it be Instagram, whether it be, you know, like let's just stay in touch.
Yeah.
Because you never know down the line we could, you know what I'm saying, help each other in some way, shape, or form.
Definitely. You never know who somebody's going to be. That's one thing for sure. I learned that in high school when it was just like, there were certain people where you see me walking down the hall with them and you would never expect us to be friends. But it was just literally dude I met in class and we were just great person, great dude. I met some of the best people and we would have never been in the same like circle for a room of like things we do extracurricularly. But when it came to class, we took the same class. Yeah. And when it came to certain things where it was like how we treat each other, one kid, he always asked me like, oh, how you doing today? And this dude was on crutches. I'll never forget this dude. And he was like, really asked me how I'm doing today. I was like, how you gonna ask me doing today? You on crutches. Like
you're on crutches.
You really can't. Like, so when it was people like that, you don't come across people like that every day. So I'm very appreciative of people like that as well. So I would say also be kind to people even when you don't have to is the other thing.
For sure.
Because dude was like, went out of his way just to be like, give that extra, oh, how are you doing? Really, like, not even just like, oh, in passing, like, stop, how are you? You know what I mean? And it's like, small things like that can really change somebody's whole day, change somebody's whole perspective. And I took that and I started doing it myself of like, ask people how they doing, small things like, give somebody a compliment on the street. It doesn't even always have to be some like crazy conversation, something like that. Give somebody a compliment. That'll really make them feel better about themselves.
Because you never know the type of day a person's having either.
Yeah.
I think you hit it on the nail too when you said just be kind even when you don't have to. I've been super big on giving randoms compliments on the street. Like I was walking from the store maybe like 3 or 4 days ago and I seen it was a buddy, he had on like a vintage Bulls jacket and I kind of like in a sense like not alter my path, but I kind of made it my mission because I seen this jacket from across the street. Yeah. So if it catches my attention from across the street, then you know what I'm saying. But I kind of just made it my mission to walk past him and literally just tell him that I liked his jacket. Yeah. In a sense. But yeah, like I feel like the most beautiful part about that too is take the guy that you've seen on crutches, for example. Like he probably doesn't even remember that interaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe he does, but
Yeah.
you know, in the sense that he doesn't, it doesn't matter much to him, but it mattered to you.
Yeah.
It still matters to you in that moment, in this moment right here. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But him just being a good person, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, it just alters your perspective sometimes.
Definitely. And also, I want to touch on, you never know what you said, like, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody's day is going. So I also learned not to take things, like, personal when it comes to certain people having a,
Yes.
like, some people may come at you very, very angry, and it's very, very, this is touching on what we went on earlier, of, like, it's easy to go negative. If somebody comes at you with some animosity, of course, some people just be tripping sometimes.
Yeah,
and if you're tripping, you're tripping. But
For sure. And
when
you're gonna find a lot of that in Chicago.
yeah, but when it comes to, like, do you have to retaliate on that?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And you don't got to let it ruin your day. You can really just say, okay, if you could literally what I love to do is return a negative with a positive,
Yeah.
and then see the reaction after. Because how you going to be mad at somebody that's not mad at you?
Trying to be nice to you.
Yeah. Because then it's just like,
Yeah.
what are you mad for? I didn't do anything to you.
Yeah. I feel like then the psyche gets confused.
Yeah.
Because people aren't used to that, bro.
Yeah. That's in today's day, not nobody, but it's so common to be against one another.
Yeah.
And it's something now
For sure.
where everybody kind of has a guard up of, I'm expecting to defend myself first, then open myself up to people to be like just happy, everybody be in a good mood. So when you go into certain places too, there are certain places where everybody's just good vibes, and it's special
100%.
because it's not everywhere. But yeah, I would definitely say that.
I share like a little piece of my semester is so since I'm a senior, I've been I'm like required to have volunteer hours, and I can like openly say that if these hours weren't required, I can't say that I would be at this place volunteering, you know. But it's required, and sure enough, like I have to do it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But basically where I volunteer at is, it's like a homeless outreach, and we like pack lunches, and then we give them out to the homeless people that we see on Chicago, like near downtown, near River North, and we just have like specific routes. But this kind of touches on a lot of the things that we've been talking about. But a lot of the people that, let's say it's like a group of 5 or 6 of us, and we see a mom and her kid, and we give them like a hot dog and a sandwich.
Yeah.
Occasionally we pack like toiletries, give it to them. But one thing I notice when I'm doing this like homeless outreach is, like, when there's like 4 or 5 of us kneeling down at a homeless person, and the people that are walking by make it seem like it's so out of the ordinary to help these people. Like
Yeah.
it's almost a feeling I can't describe. Like I was literally sitting next to this little boy. I gave him a cup of hot chocolate, and it genuinely, like, I felt like this family had walked past me and this homeless person that we were helping, like, disgusted. Just not only disgusted with this homeless person, but disgusted with the fact that we were helping them. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I really genuinely realized that, like, helping people is out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I don't know. I don't think it should be that way.
No. I would definitely, if I could jump in there on that.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I would say it's become to the point where it's like everybody it's seen as common to be selfish to succeed. And in actuality, so many more people I feel like would be succeeding if everyone just helped each other.
Yeah.
I had a situation like that too, but it went differently than just people looking at him.
Tell me about it.
Our Target that's right outside the school, there was somebody on the bench. It was a mom and her kid, but they didn't have no sign or anything like that. But they didn't have any food or anything, and they were just out there. Kids' shoes were busted up. Like the pants going like a little bit up the leg, and I'm just like, I never like to see a kid out there. You know what I mean? Because it's like it wasn't your choice. You had no sort of like say in the situation or anything like that. But I was going to Target. I'm like, I see them big jugs of water. That thing's $1.
Mm-hmm.
It's $1.
Why not?
Like, I'm getting $38 worth of stuff. It's $39. That much of a difference.
Facts.
So get the jug of water, and then I was getting those snack packs, the protein snack packs too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I get a lot of those because I like to have it throughout the week.
Yeah.
Like, let me get one of those, a little extra one of those,
Mm-hmm.
extra like granola bar. Went outside, and they're there. I'm like, I didn't even tell anything to them before. I wasn't like, here you go, because it was like, this is something you could use. You could have some water while you're out here, you know what I mean? And then dude passing me, he literally stopped right in his tracks and was like, you know what, you're right. And he goes and gives them money. And I was like, it's small stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and me and him didn't even have to have like that much of an interaction. But he was literally just hit me with a, God bless you, you know what you're doing, or like, you're right.
For sure.
And went and gave them some money.
Yeah.
And I was like, small stuff like that, technically some people would say, oh, you didn't gain anything out of that. What I gained a real good feeling after that. And that feeling is something that is it's indescribable to me, but it's also like, it's not monetary. It's not something you can like pay to go get. It's something like,
it's not something you want other people to know about.
Yeah. It's stuff like that where it's just like, I went right back to my dorm. This is like freshman year. And I'm like, I went right back to my dorm. It was not something for anybody else. It was just literally a good feeling like that. And the fact that somebody else reacted in that way was just like, by doing something positive, it can make somebody else do something. It can create a bigger change.
It's so crazy how like all of the topics we're talking about are kind of in a sense connecting.
Yeah.
So like you said, when you say, you gave the mom and her kid water, and it kind of initiated it. All it takes is one initiation. You know what I'm saying? It takes one person to do something, and then you realize how many more people want to do it. And I feel like that's like the beauty of things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Take this podcast for example. If, like I said, had you not reached out about it, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't be doing it. But I seen the positivity that could have came out of it. You know what I'm saying? And like here we are. I think like really literally what you caused that day was just a domino effect, a ripple effect of positivity, bro. And he may help somebody, and then somebody else may see him help that person, and then the cycle continues. That's just not the way the world works all the time, Yeah. But
that's kind of why I like the for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
Little saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm so down for this to be somewhere it's like, if somebody needs something where it's like they need to get something out there, if we were able to get this platform enough to where it's like we can just help people, because I love when people do that, where it's like they have a platform and they choose to just help people with it because they understand where they like either came from or the values that they had at the very beginning.
For sure. How hard it is to build from the ground up.
Yeah, so it's like I definitely want this to be a place where it's like people can feel like they can come here and be like, okay, I need help doing this. I need help getting this out there. Would you guys help me? Because I'm so down for that to be like.
For sure, man. For sure. So am I. I feel like we talked about like capitalization on collaboration. You know what I'm saying? I think that like literally like we could just pull each other up. But then we were also just talking about how it's not of the ordinary nowadays. So that's kind of like, in a sense, I feel like that's kind of what I want this platform to be, and I hope you agree too. Is just, a space for the people, by the people, and in the most humblest way possible. You know what I'm saying? Being inviting. I think down the line, like it'd be great to have, because me and you, we kind of in a sense really know how each other think.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have another mind. You
Definitely.
know what I'm saying, on the mic. But like this is the first episode, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We figured
we may be talking way more than we need to. We don't even know what's going on at this point. But
that's what I'm saying.
It's definitely like a free flowing place, I feel like.
Trying to get a feel.
But all we do know, this is gonna be a place of good vibes. Place you get nice and cozy.
That's what I'm saying, man. Relax, you get nice and cozy. You just gotta,
But
we both cozy right now too, bro. Like I'm comfortable. This is
definitely
this conversation. Also, like, aside from like the cameras and the mic and all of that, like the conversation is like it's enlightening. You know what I'm saying? It takes a weight off your chest after like a long day.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I get you, bro.
It's something where you can get off a week's worth of stuff that you just want to talk about.
Literally.
And They don't even know. This is conversation we'd have. This is what I'm saying.
At the dining
These are the
hall.
conversations. This is how long these conversations are of us just talking.
Yeah, bro.
It goes on for this long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so much stuff that goes on in this world, and we're gonna keep trying to cover it with different stuff in this podcast. How we treat people on a daily basis, stuff we go through. Definitely want to be stuff like that.
Yeah. Granted, I'll say like we mentioned, like this is our first episode, so honestly, like me and Cam spent like 15-20 minutes trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, the works of the studio in itself before actually hitting record, you know.
Yeah.
So but regardless, I feel like it was productive for us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We know we're recording now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I don't know, I think it's a beautiful thing, bro. I think it's a beautiful thing that we talked about this. We talked about this over Instagram DM 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now, you know what I'm saying, it's the first episode, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We figured out how to work the studio. Now there's camera work, there's editing.
Yeah.
And you only get better at it too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great thing.
So it's definitely just like this space. And shout out to Amani.
Shout out to Imani.
Like, really helped us make sure we had everything together. Last week was just straight up, you guys need this, and that. Let us literally just ramble on what we wanted to do. So it's stuff like that it's, we gonna get it going.
Yeah.
We're just getting our feet wet right now.
Literally, bro. Literally. That's like additional support too. Like we literally FaceTimed Imani before we press record.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, you know, just what to do. And it all just like comes with trial and error too. You know what I'm saying? That's
Definitely.
another thing about, you know how you just said, just push that button, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because you're gonna mess up. I feel like along the lines, it's up to you to, you know, figure out what you're gonna do with that mistake.
Definitely.
Going back to you saying, don't take things so heavily upon yourself. Give yourself grace, because beating yourself down can be, you know, nobody's gonna do that better than you.
Yeah, because you know yourself the best.
For sure.
You know exactly like your faults. So it's like you get into the space where, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. It's the same thing of you walking out the house, noticing, yo, I got this hair just like sticking out back there. It's just tripping with.
Yeah.
You walk around, nobody's even gonna notice until you say something about it.
For sure.
Yo, you see that right there? Nah, what? Right, you got to put your whole head into their face to see it.
Right.
Don't nobody else notice.
For sure.
So it's small things like that where it's like the stuff that you're doing in your head, whatever, nobody else knows that. You can go ahead and try again. You can do whatever you want, and nobody's going to judge you for it. Nobody's going to, I feel like nobody can fault somebody or judge somebody for trying to do something that was genuine, positive, or good.
Yeah.
Any type of way. It's like,
I agree, bro.
because at the end of the day, as long as you're doing things for the right reasons, who's gonna say, nah, that's bad?
For sure.
Like, oh my God, like you had that, and you didn't do anything with it. At least I'm doing something.
Right. At least I'm doing something with my time. At least I'm doing something that makes me feel good.
Exactly.
Not for the pleasure of others, you know, but for the greater good, period. Couldn't agree more, bro.